unavoidable. We have made every attempt to resolve this war. We have made every attempt that this war doesn't happen, to resolve this amicably. It didn't work out. So now, when we are in the battlefield, the conches have been blown, we are standing in the middle of the whole war field. From where have you come to this situation? What has gone wrong with you? Kutastva kashmalam idam. From where have you this? Kashmalam in Sanskrit means dirt. Dirt means actually those things which cloud your knowledge. Dirt means that thing which stops you from acting the way you are supposed to act. That's what is called kashmalam idam. He says, from where have you got this dirt, Arjun, in your mind? Where have you got this confusion in your mind? Where have you got this sorrow? And this misplaced compassion, where have you got? Now remember one thing, Sanjay, in the last chapter also, he has said about Arjun, Tam tatha kripaya vishtam. Ashru Purna Purisham, he spoke about Vishidannam idam vakyam. He spoke the same word because he is seeing Arjun overpowered by a misplaced compassion in the battlefield. But remember, Bhagwan is not seeing Arjun that way. Now you see what word Bhagwan used. The same Arjun, Bhagwan is saying very differently. Bhagwan is not talking about Kripaya, Paraya, Vishtam and all those things. Bhagwan is saying here, Arjun, from where have you got this new logic to not fight here? Kutah samupastam, from where has this come into your mind? Because this is for you. Three things he pushes Arjun as a shock treatment. It doesn't befit you. An-Aryam. If you would have seen Mahabharata and Ramayana, you would see in the serial at least, many of their wives, they use the word Aryaputra. Okay? Aryaputra doesn't mean from Arya clan. Arya means noble. Okay? You need to remember that. Arya means noble. So when they call their kings Aryaputra, they mean to say, O son of the noble kings. So you have to follow the same nobility. Okay, that's the reason why they call Aryaputra. So many, I have also listened to Aryaputra before studying this. I used to think, all of the kings in our country have been born under Arya only or what? I used to think like that. But it's not that. Aryaputra means noble. O noble man. O son of noble kings. O son of a noble father. That's how it means Aryaputra. So here, he uses the word, it doesn't fit you. So an-Arya means ignoble. You are not acting in your noble form. Ignoble is the word for an-Arya. What are you? What is gone wrong with you? You are behaving as an ignoble person. It doesn't suit your personality. It doesn't suit your character. Imagine what name you have earned till now. They say in Mahabharata that when the Khandaprastha was burnt, so all the deities from Swargaloka, they tried to completely take off the fire and actually completely doze off the fire. But they just couldn't do it. Because the one who put the whole thing on fire was Arjun. They could not even fight what Arjun has done as an action. So they say, in Mahabharata they say about it, when Arjun used to come out, they all in Swargaloka also looking at Arjun used to get mesmerized. That kind of personality Arjun used to carry. And I told you, if you read Mahabharata, you will come to know Arjun is so popular in his times that many mother wanted their child to become like Arjun. He was that popular. And one of the name will come, Parantapa name Bhagwan will use in the next one, and I'll talk about that. When he goes for a battle, victory is guaranteed. And that deities from the Swargalok also. So when Arjun was in the exile period, Bhagwan only told Arjun that go and do tapas. See, other brothers were in the exile, they were just passing through the exile. But Bhagwan made Arjun do hard work in exile also. He said, go and do tapas for Bhagwan Shiva. And Arjun did tapas for Bhagwan Shiva, and Bhagwan Shiva appeared in front of him. But when Bhagwan Shiva appeared, he asked Arjun, what do you want? He said, Bhagwan Krishna told me to do tapas for you. Please bless us to win the war. Bhagwan Shiva blessed him to go to Swargaloka and get the weapon and all those things, what he got during his exile period. And they say, see, the kind of personality I'm talking about, Arjun had such a mesmerizing personality, he went to Swargloka with this body. Usually you cannot travel to that world with this body. But Arjun went to Swargloka with this body, into the heaven world, with this body, and he was sitting in the assembly of Indra. Then Urvashi fell for him. That story comes there. Arjun was actually looking at the dance of Urvashi and he was really appreciating. He was appreciating it so much, he was enjoying the thing. Urvashi thought that Arjun fell for him, fell for her. So Urvashi came, and when Arjun went back, Urvashi came to him and said, oh, I think, let's get married. Arjun said, Mate, what are you talking about? You are like my mother. She got upset with him. Apsaras, you don't call Mate or anything, you don't call them at that age and all. She cursed him, so that quote unquote become a eunuch. Arjun did not revolt back on that thing. He came back and asked Bhagwan, what should I do? I got this curse now. Bhagwan said, don't worry. Go to Urvashi, ask her to reduce the term. It will be beneficial for you. So Arjun said, okay. He went to Urvashi and said, I didn't mean to insult you or anything.
In 200 meters, turn right.
I always look up to the families as a respectful family because Bhishma Pitama is born out of Mother Ganga. Mother Ganga came from Swarga. You are a family. How can I fall in love with somebody who is, from my family? I'm sorry, I was not looking at you in that way. You misunderstood. I'm really sorry. So she said, see, the problem is I cannot take back the curse, but I can do one thing. I can reduce the term. She said, okay, I reduce the term that you have to live like a eunuch for 1 year. That's what he used in his Agyatmas. See, Bhagwan told her, I told you, if we can devote ourselves to Bhagwan, well, even in situation where we see no respite and situation where we feel that we cannot come out, he will make it beneficial for us in some way or the other. And I have seen it in many examples. Mahabharata is full of them. See, it's not about this. Any episode of Arjuna I talk about is like that. Everywhere it is happening. See, Arjun's personality cannot be hidden. The thing is, Kauravas knew very well in the Agyatwas period, Arjun is one person who cannot be hidden. So, just because he got that curse of remaining like a eunuch, he could not recognize Arjun. Otherwise, Arjuna's personality cannot be hidden. You can't hide such a personality. Bhim, so they put him into the kitchen. रसोईया बना दिया उसको कि जाओ रसोईया बन जाओ तो वो तो छुप गया चलो कोई बात नहीं to that extent तो छुप ही गया but अर्जुन को कहाँ छुपाओगे how can you hide the thing is now imagine this kind of personality Arjun has got Arjun was very good in his skills for dancing also by the way that is also the part of it and with that curse and his dancing skill he could easily survive the Agyatwas period nobody could find out about it only in the last day they figured out that too when the sun set they figured out but that's a different
Hello कसले म्हणजे
डिटेल्स हवेत आबाजींना
म्हणजे अकाउंट नंबर असं पाठवतो मी थांब
altogether I don't want to get into it. So Bhagwan is saying this is so ignoble of you, it doesn't suit your personality Arjun. An-aryam. Then he uses the word aswargyam. You are the one who with this body has gone to heaven and come back. And the kind of behavior you are doing right now, the kind of act you are doing right now, it doesn't take you to heaven, it will lead you to hell. That's why he says aswargyam. Then he says akirtikaram. Arjun, you have a great name. What do you do about your name? The thing is, name and fame are two things which comes at a very high cost sometimes. To maintain it becomes very difficult. Because the moment the name and fame comes, there are people who do not know have already started looking at you. Bhagwan will come and say about that. Yadyat acharati shrestha tat devataro jana. He will talk about it in the upcoming shlokas. I'll talk it there. But the problem is, Arjun, you have a great name and fame. How this is going to go against it? All your fame will be washed away in one go. Akirti karam, dear Arjuna. This is going to become like that. Then in the next, Bhagwan must have looked at Arjun. Not much of a reaction. So Bhagwan said, now what do I do? So Bhagwan gives the next shocker to Arjuna. He says, Klaivyamma. Don't fall to a person like, impotent. Don't behave like a eunuch. That's what the friend called him. So Arjun, you are a man. You are a valorous man. You are being given example outside. And you start behaving like a eunuch. Actually, this word, Klaivyamma, here, need to be understood. There are certain portions we need to understand this. He's not putting down anyone here when Bhagwan is saying this. When Bhagwan is using this word for Arjuna, he's saying, from a masculine perspective, there are some courage and some fearlessness which comes with a masculine faculty. Okay? It's not about the body difference at all. It's about the characteristics I'm talking about. Body difference is a physical aspect. I don't need to get into that at all here. Bhagwan is not talking about. When he is talking about masculinity, he is talking about the fearlessness and the courage which a man is supposed to have. A Kshatriya is supposed to have. And when he is talking about a woman here, he is talking about the richness of emotion. See, when I talk about womanly characteristics, it is denoted by the richness of emotion and love. Masculinity is donated to the courage and fearlessness. When you don't display either one of them, neither a pure emotion or love, nor a complete masculinity like courage and fearlessness, at that time, since you are neither displaying a masculinity, neither displaying the characteristics of a woman, that's where you call them Klaivyam. That's why you call the mixture of both. So you say, Arjun, what has gone wrong with you? Klaivyam ma, it doesn't suit you, man. Don't behave like a eunuch in this world. Stand up. He says, Bhagavan says, Partha, Klaivyam masmagamaha, tvai etat na upapadyate. This kind of a behavior doesn't suit you at all. Then what suits you? He says, you are what? He uses one word for Arjun called Parantapa. Parantapa means the scorcher of enemies. See, Parantapa means the one who puts on fire his enemies. By hearing his name itself, people started, feeling the heat of we are going to die in this war and all. That is called Parantapa. But that's the name of Arjun. Whichever battle Arjun has gone, he has either made sure that the person bends down to their kingdom or he is defeated in the battle. He's never come back without winning a battle in totality. So he says, you are what? You are the scorcher of enemies. Hey Parantapa, Chudram, Hridaya Daurbalyam Tyaktva. By giving up, he uses three words here. He uses two words here. Chudram and Hridaya Daurbalyam. That's the word we need to understand. Chudram means what? Chudram means what? The low characterness of the Balaram. That very unbalanced kind of a person. Chudram, lower kind of a person. The one who doesn't talk of high qualities. Lower quality person. Oh, it's like, he cannot do anything. Doesn't matter. Whatever you tell him, it doesn't make any difference at all. He cannot get up because he's like that. Lower kind of the qualities, Chudram. Don't show that. Number one. Hridaya Daurbalyam. Don't come to a point where people know that you are very weak at heart. And now this is a point I want to talk about a little bit. See, every person in their life has some kind of a moment in their life when they come across the weakness of their heart. Some portions are, lower side of us, some portions are side of us which we are weak spot because. Those lower sides of us, the Hridaya Daurbalyam, other people who are competitor to us or who are parallel to us, not very savvy with us or not very friendly to us, they should not come to us. It should be hidden from those people. Why? Why do you think it should be hidden from those people? Because if it's known to everyone, even if they are your competitor, they will use it against you. So that's one of the reasons why it should always be hidden from them. So Bhagwan is saying, Arjun, everybody is watching. You are standing in a no man's land in the center of both the